Danette is America's leading healthy lifestyle expert. She's the founder of Mindful Health, which includes 3 unique brands, FitRise, Earth Echo Foods, and the Danette May brand. She's also a world-renowned motivational speaker, #1 best-selling author of The Rise, and the author of 7 other health and women's empowerment books. She's also a former celebrity fitness trainer. She's a wife and a mother. She has shared her unique, inspiring message on national TV, and she's been named number 16 on Women's Fitness list of fitness and health leaders for 2018. She was also featured in the culture-shifting documentary WeRiseUP alongside His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, Tony Robbins, Alanis Morissette, Richard Brandson, and others. Over the last few years, Danette has really created a worldwide movement helping people wake up to their genius and allowing them to step into their radical self-love to live out their life's purpose. And in this episode, we are going to nerd out about health hacks, nutrition tips, superfoods, and rituals. I'm so excited for you guys to learn from her today. I'm telling you, this woman has a wealth of knowledge. She's also a complete boss babe. She's built an 8-figure business that continues to grow. Her company has grown over the last 3 years over 5,000%. She's landed number 48 on the Inc. 500 list of fastest growing companies in the US. So guys, a lot you can learn today. Have your pen, your paper ready, and let's get ready to meet Danette May.
All right, Danette, I am so excited to have you on the show today. And I'm just freaking so excited to see you because I haven't seen you in years, right? It's been years.
It has been years for sure.
Yeah. And on top of that, you guys, we haven't talked about like health hacks on my podcast yet. So I'm really excited to dive into that because Danette, like this is her thing. This is where she thrives. So she's got a wealth of knowledge to bring to y'all, and I'm just excited to dive into it. And before we do though, I always like to start with something to where, those who haven't read your book, The Rise, for those who don't know your story, I would love just a little highlight reel. If you could give us like a little highlight reel of, your journey that is like maybe even tied to what we're going to talk about today, like health, really how you've optimized your health, your rituals. We just love to hear a highlight reel.
Yeah, for sure. So what I always say to people is like, most of us are going to go through our refiner's fire. And for me, I went through my refiner's fire around 2011, a little before there, but that's where like the spark started to fly. And I just want to welcome everybody because some of you are in your refiner's fire right now. You are in your chaos. I always kind of relate it to being put into a washing machine. Someone just shoved you in there, poured some soap in there, shut the door and turned it on. And you're like spinning and you're gasping for air and you just cannot wait till that door opens and you can just get out. And I just want to remind you that out of chaos comes equal or greater good. And if you are in that chaos, just know that there's so much opportunity on the outside. And I know this because my biggest times of chaos were around that time I had lost my son, which put me in this crazy depression that I was really unfamiliar with. When that happened, a lot of things started to unravel in my relationship. I always say that he'd had to pass for me to fully wake up. And it was true. I really just hit such a low rock bottom that you get to this beautiful point where you're like, you know what? Nothing matters. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. I need to stop people pleasing. What do I really believe in? What's really true? Because before that, I was just kind of going through the motions. I was on autopilot and it really woke me up. And that's when I really started stepping into healing foods because I had another daughter. Then I found out I was pregnant with my second daughter. And I was like, I've got to be a mom. Like, I have brain fog. I'm in depression. I'm going through this now. At that point, it's a horrific divorce. I'm like, I have got to get a hold of my life. And it wasn't that I was like, woke up one day and was like, I'm going to take a hold of my life. It was literally like, what can I eat to just think more clearly? What can I eat that doesn't cost a lot of money? Because I also went through financial ruin at that time as well. And it really got me into these like specific superfoods and this experimentation within my own body. So that's where my deep, deep love of food came through. And that's where my message came from, was from that mess. Then moving my body and then ultimately my mindset piece, which I truly changed everything about my mindset. And I know that is why I'm in the position I am with my business and my relationships and my health, is because of that third component, which was the mindset.
So powerful. It's our, like, I can relate to that in my own story, is like my biggest mess. That's where my biggest message came through, for sure. Yeah. And it's like when we really lean into the pain, that pain can really become our platform. Yep. And I've seen you create that. And I've seen many other leaders I brought on this podcast. They've literally came from a pain point, and they've turned that into their platform and their message and their purpose. Yep. So that's beautiful. And yeah, what a gift. What an absolute gift. All of it.
And that's the biggest thing, that anyone who can just, if you take anything from this call today, just know, oh, I'm in chaos. This is good, because there are no leaders. There are no people that you look up to that didn't go through their chaos. That you have to go through it to truly unlayer to your true character, to what you're here for. And so just celebrate it. You're in it.
Yes. I love that. So, okay. And I know, Danette has, like, as she said, she's got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to immunity, superfoods, health. And so she's going to be sharing with you guys today some health hacks, also her rituals as well. And as you guys know, I always talk about rituals, and I love the word ritual over routine because it just sounds much more fun and magical and all the things. And so I'm really excited to hear yours, because I know I have my own that work for me. And I love hearing other, especially like people that I really respect and admire, like you, Danette, like hearing your rituals and what you do to keep you at your highest and best. And also, side note, I just got to say this. Yo, this woman can make a wicked cup of cocoa, because girl, we talk about, by the way, if you guys know what movie that's from, because I just quoted a movie.
Like, where did that come from?
Yo, she can make a wicked cup of cocoa. Do you know where that's from, that movie?
No, what movie?
Miss Doubtfire. Come on.
That's so old. Yes.
Of course I would be quoting it. But anyways, I wanted to throw that in because when she goes into her health hacks, I hope you talk about cacao. Cacao is something that I've discovered actually just really I want to say this past year when I was in Bali, because they have those cacao ceremonies, and that was when I first I was like, whoa. And so Danette sent me her cacao formula that she's created. Girl, I've been putting it in I'm obsessed now. Now I'm having now you're making me drink more coffee, because I'm like, I crave it in the middle of the day. I'm like, I want another scoop in my coffee. And it's like, it makes my coffee like a freaking Christmas dream. So I just had to throw in the fact that she can make a wicked cup of cocoa. But over to you, Danette.
Yeah, we can talk about that with nutrition, because we can just start with cacao, because I'm sure people are like, what is this? So cacao, just so everybody understands, is different than cocoa. You can go in and buy cocoa powder. It's labeled under Hershey's. There's lots of different brands. But cocoa is dramatically different because it's stripped of 300 phytonutrients. So raw cacao is like the king or queen, whatever you want to call her. I call her queen. Let's call her queen. She's the queen of superfoods. Like, she's the highest in antioxidants. She can help with depression. She helps with brain function. She contains a chemical called anandamide, which there's only 2 foods in the world that contain this chemical. Do you know what anandamide does, Ashley?
No, I don't. So, tell me.
So when you're making love with someone you love, and when you're in this, like, the highest state of euphoria, your body's releasing anandamide. So anandamide is released from mushrooms, a specific type of mushroom, and cacao. And so it creates this feeling of love, this feeling of euphoria. So when you drink it, you actually feel more connection to yourself. If you drink it in a circle with other people, you certainly feel more connected to them. It literally drops anandamide into the body. It also contains theobromine, which is different than caffeine in the fact that it basically fills your cells up with all this oxygen. So there's been studies with curing Alzheimer's, with more brain cognition. And so when I found out about cacao, and this will get into my rituals as well, because I really desire to learn from indigenous tribes. It's just one of these like innate desires inside of me. So I've sought out, how can I get into these indigenous places that other blonde hair, blue eyed girls never go? And it has led me on this path. And I found myself in a sacred circle in the middle of the jungle, sipping on this dark chocolatey drink. And I remember them telling me, now set an intention. They do this on the full moon, which it happens to be the full moon today as we're recording.
I thought it was. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm so excited because what you're about to say, I'm going to do it tonight.
Yeah, me too. I do it every full moon, but here's the deal. Like they do it on full moon, they do it on new moon. Sometimes they do it every weekend. For them, it's not necessarily has to be on a full moon or a new moon. It's such a part of their custom. And I'm talking about the Mayan people, the Aztecas, even the Peruvians. So they literally would sit in circles, set an intention, because we already know on a scientific level, when you set an intention to anything, whether it's food, anything that contains a water property to it, it shifts it. So they were like, set this intention. And we were just sitting around and I drank it. And I remember feeling kind of this sense of a high going on in my body. And I was like, I was like to my interpreter, did they add like drugs to this? Like I'm feeling like happy. I want to get up and dance. And they were like, no, it's cacao. And that intention that I set that night, 7 days later manifested. And I was like, there's something to this. And once I dived into it, there's so much science around cacao and all these superfoods that I've infused into Cacao Bliss that it was so revered. It was revered beyond gold in these indigenous tribes because of its properties to increase cognition and to bring euphoria and this connection to yourself and to loved ones. So it's been my love letter to the world. I was creating it for like 2 years in the private of my kitchen, giving out the formula to everybody of exactly how to mix it. And then we created it. We created Cacao Bliss and now we sell it. And so that's what you're drinking. And it's different because it's raw organic cacao and it's ceremonial grade, which means it's laid out in the sun and the sun kisses it. So if you look on the back of a bottle and it says cocoa powder, you're not getting any of these benefits I'm talking about. If it says raw cacao and preferably ceremonial grade cacao, you're getting all the benefits I'm talking about. But then I've infused it with all these other superfoods, so it goes right into your cells. So you're just like, you're feeling it. That's why you're feeling it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put it in coffee if you don't want to. You can just do it as a hot chocolate drink. You can make desserts.
I'm going to do that tonight, actually. So I haven't tried it plain. I've just put it in my coffee and I've just been obsessed with it ever since. So now I'm going to do that tonight. Actually, you've inspired me to create a little ceremony tonight. And I'm really excited. And guys, for those of you who aren't familiar with cacao, and this is the first time you're hearing about it, you will feel the first time that you have cacao. At least for me, I felt what you felt, that energy rising, and actually, and this is very common in Bali, y'all know I'm like Bali's my favorite place in the entire world. But after the cacao ceremony, there is ecstatic dance. And the reason you do that,
you want to move yourself.
Yes,
you want to move.
Because it's like this energy that comes up. And I remember thinking that too. I'm like, they slipped something else in this. This ain't just chocolate, okay? I'm like, this ain't just cacao. They put something in here, but that's it. That's just the magic of cacao. So I love that.
Natural high.
Yeah, natural high. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's the legal high. How about that? It's the legal high.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know those facts that you shared, like about the I'm not going to try to say it, but
and theobromine. Yes. Yeah.
So that's really cool. I had no idea. It makes sense, but that's awesome. I love it. So what else, so cacao is something that you discovered, I'm guessing that was a couple of years ago, right? Yeah. And you've incorporated that into your ritual.
Absolutely. So I'm going to just nail for you really quick, some main superfoods that I think everyone should be consuming right now if you really want to super hack your nutrition right now. Obviously, food is a big component to your overall well-being. And then what I would love to get into with you, Ashley, is the mind component, which will go into ritual, because I believe that you can eat all these amazing superfoods, but if you're walking around like Debbie Downer and you're negative and you feel like the world's against you, it doesn't matter how much exercise you do or how much nutrition you're consuming, your mind is actually your greatest or worst ally. And so for me, I do want to get into those rituals because I do believe it's part of my health hacks. I do believe it's part of all of
100. Mind, body, soul connected. Yeah, 100%.
Totally. So I just want to speak to you guys now because I think for right now it's paramount, this idea of health. And I just want to remind you that, yes, we're bombarded with these ideas of am I safe? Am I not safe? Am I going to bump up against someone who maybe has a virus or has a bacteria or whatever the conversation is at any given time? And I just want to remind you that actually your body is so intelligent. You are bombarded with viruses and bacteria on the daily. And it does such a good job without you even thinking about it, fighting them. Whenever you do possibly get an infection or a bacteria or whatever, it's usually not because you were bombarded with it. It was because there was a mental component going on in your life, high level of stress, a negativity, maybe there was a fight. You can trace it back. Usually that's why your system let down and you received it. So I want to just say these superfoods are what I'm consuming, where I feel super confident. There's so much scientific research, and I'm so excited to share it because truly you can be your greatest healer. You can totally juice yourself up with all this stuff, and it's not that complicated, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. So one is cacao. Obviously, Cacao Bliss that I'm talking about has, and you can make it yourself if you want to do raw cacao. I put MCT oil in it, which will make it go, that's like the super brain charging oil. You want a good fat because you want everything to get absorbed into your cells. So if you're going to make it, add a little good coconut oil or MCT oil if you can get it. You do want that because it's going to take all of these superfoods right to the cells. Turmeric. So turmeric powder is like the gold of all spices because it helps with inflammation in the body. So when the body's inflamed, you're more susceptible to disease. So turmeric every single day. So I obviously take turmeric capsules, which our company produces, or you can get them other places. Yeah. Or it's in Cacao Bliss as well, or you can add it into curries and have like some type of curry dish, but make sure you're getting turmeric. Ginger is another great spice and another great superfood. Such a good inflammation fighter. It's so good for your immunity. So that's another one. And these are things I'm taking every single day. Vitamin C. Now, you can take it in capsule form if you want, or just have an orange, like put an orange into your daily diet. And they're actually quite delicious. You know, I think we forget how delicious fruit actually can be. So making sure you get some good vitamin C. So
really quick fun fact, you guys, I just found out, well, okay, an orange is much funner to eat, but broccoli is actually super rich in vitamin C. I was like, broccoli, what? But broccoli and Brussels sprouts, both. So if you guys like that, put that into your meals. You know, that could be like with your dinner, just have like a side of broccoli, boom, got your vitamin C.
And they're great with protein too. So if you want to feel fuller longer, add those, like she just said, because they're also really high in protein if you're not having a lot of meat. Obviously water. I want to bring water to the story because I always think about when I was in Africa and with some of the Africans, they were like, what we think about when we think of Americans is they always have a water bottle in their hands. They just think we drink like it's like the celebrity thing to do. But it's so true to drink so much water and to bless your water before you drink it. And the reason is we know, like I mentioned, there's already been scientific studies on molecules of water, molecules of food, and you're made up of 70% of water. So every time before you drink your water, bless it. Just say some positive words to it because it literally chemically changes the structure of the molecules in the water, and then it will go inside of you. So I'm powerful. I trust life. Life is working out for me. Whatever you want to say that feels right for you and what you're working through, but I always bless my water. So those are my nutrition hacks.
I haven't done that. I mean, I bless my food, but I haven't blessed my water before. So I love that. I'm now gonna implement that as well.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
If you just have a water bottle, just quickly in your mind, just say some affirmations and it's already chemically charged.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. And what I love about these things, guys, like this is all super accessible for you, right? It's not like this, like all those things that she just listed, all those hacks, all those superfoods, like you can easily acquire those, and they're actually not that expensive at all. Like, for example, we talked about vitamin C, you talked about turmeric. Turmeric is actually like decently priced. Right?
And ginger, totally.
Yeah, ginger you can get at the freaking store. You can put like we would have juices in the morning here. I'm here staying at Gerard's house right now, and we would always put ginger, like just like a little bit of ginger in the juice every morning.
The best.
Yeah.
It's a little kick in the pants. You can take turmeric powder or turmeric root and take either ginger root or ginger powder and make a beautiful tea with it, which is so delicious. You combine those two together, add a little coconut, almond, or oat milk with some hot water and a little bit of honey, cinnamon, if you have cardamom, mix it all together. Oh, it's so good. And it's so
okay.
good.
I hope you just wrote that down, you guys. If you did, you know what? Actually, we're going to put that in the show notes because I want to try that. That sounds delicious. Girl, you have all these freaking recipes up your sleeve. I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so let's I love it. So let's go move now. So we went into body, right? And these nutritional hacks. Let's talk about rituals. Yay.
Sure. Okay. Well, you actually asked me like specifically, what do you want to know? Because I can go ballistic on rituals because I have definitely rituals for my morning. I have rituals for my evening. I have rituals around full moon.
Okay. I got it. How about this? So let's go with the category of daily first. Okay. Category of daily. What are like, if you could pick like your top 3 that like you couldn't like, you would just, if you had to give up all the others, what are like the top 3 that are so essential, critical to your well-being that you just would love to share with our listeners right now?
Something that I think is important to share is this concept of soul writing. And the reason I'm so impressed with this concept, you can take away the word soul if it feels too much for you, because I have shared this with high-level entrepreneurs and have changed their business. I've done it in my own business. So I'll give you an example. I'll tell you what it is, and I'll give you an example of how this really translated in my life. So the concept of soul writing is that you wake up before there's anybody else's energy going to be in your space. So yes, it's going to require you, or you stay up. I haven't tried it on the later end because I'm more of a morning person, but if you wanted to do it at night, you could do it at night. I think the beautiful thing about the morning, and I don't think I know, and I've learned this also from Indigenous tribe members, if you can get up early, what happens is the body when you're sleeping is regenerating. And you basically have become somewhat of a new person. The cells have turned over, the dreams wiped things out. There was a lot of healing that went on. So when you wake up first in the morning, your brain, the neurons are different than they are at night. And so what you do is you come down into a space that feels good for you. I would light a candle, which I know you're big at, or light a fire, because there's an element to fire that brings a sense of comfort, but there's also the fire is the symbol of transformation, of burning and releasing what no longer serves, right? Or it's also fire means wisdom, right? So whenever you think of a council or you think of healers or shamans, they always were gathering around fire because fire contains wisdom. So lighting fire. And then what I do is I literally take out my journal and I write at the very top, what would you have me know? And it was setting this intention that I actually have within my cells, which now there's been so much scientific research around, is that your body, you're actually connected. We're all connected energetically to each other. I'm connected to you, and I'm connected to every living system. And so knowing this, and we're finding that this is happening, and it's not woo-woo, it's not out there thinking, we are absolutely connected. That means we are connected to everyone that's passed on. So if you can come with that knowing, I am connected to infinite levels of wisdom. I have a whole database of wisdom from the realms that we live in. And also if you believe in a higher power, you have information. It's just that we're so bombarded with technology and all the different things and noises, we can't sometimes hear our own information. And so writing down, what would you have me know? And then just writing whatever comes up. Some things might feel silly. Some things might feel like, why is this coming up? Do not judge yourself. You just write. And the thing that comes from this is so much power, because when you give yourself that silence and with that knowing that you are going to receive answers, You will be shocked at what comes to you. You will know things about your partner that they will be like, how did you know that? You will know things about your children that they will be like, how did you know that? You will know things. You will know exactly what you need to say to somebody. You will know who to hire. I've done this in business for hiring people. I remember I'm trying to remember the year. This was right when Facebook Lives actually came out, and no one was really doing Facebook Lives, especially running ads to Facebook Lives. No one was. And I remember sitting and I was doing my soul writing, and it wrote, run an ad to a Facebook Live. That came out of nowhere because I had things about relationships. I had things about my personal self.
Yeah.
And I had been learning to listen to my intuition. So I was like, I went to my marketing team. I'm like, I'm gonna film a live video, run an ad to it, run our promotion. That video got 8 million views on it when we just right out of the gate. And then we did this, and we 10x'd. I'm telling you, 10x. I'm not even exaggerating our business by doing lives. And I'm telling you these things, like with soul writing, you will receive such profound wisdom, whether it comes to your body, your health, your relationships, your finances, your business, if you just take that time. So that's my biggest ritual.
I love that you said that. And I love that you call it soul writing. That's so beautiful. So I've talked about this. You guys may remember an older episode with Ruby Fremon. We talked about a stream of consciousness writing. It was one of my first episodes. So that is what it reminds me of. So one thing is, if you're listening and you're an analyzer like me, okay, I'm an analyzer. So what does that mean? It means I get caught up here a lot in my head and overthinking, overanalyzing. And my practice is always dropping from head to heart and really facilitating that connection. So stream of consciousness for me meant that literally whatever comes, just write. Even if I'm in my head and I can write, okay, I'm in my head. Okay, I'm in my head. Just writing that. I would literally write out, I don't know what to write right now. Nothing's coming to me right now. And then giving myself the permission to just write whatever's coming to me, then it's like it finally will drop. So if you're like me and you have a hard time tapping in and having that knowing of what to write, just know that it's there. You may just have like a block up. So just keep writing anyways. It will, your block will drop, your guard will drop, and the answers will come through. What you need to write will come through. So I just wanted to say that because I know it's a question I've gotten from listeners and just from my audience in general. Is like, what do I write? They ask me, well, what do I write?
Yeah, that's the problem is as humans, we're wired to think that there's a right way or a wrong way.
Yes.
And that's not what this is about. If you sat there and didn't write a thing, that would be fine too. And the thing I'm sharing with you, because as soon as you have to feel like I have to write something profound or I have to write the right thing for my next direction, you've lost it. So yes. I just want to remind you that you're just setting an intention to tap into the inner wisdom that's already in you. And as soon as you make that declaration, it's that quick. And then you're just like, what would you have me know? And sometimes you don't write anything. Sometimes someone interrupts you and it's been 1 minute and you have to let life just proceed as it's going to proceed without getting your panties in a whirl, because so many people are like, I have to be here for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, or I don't want someone to interrupt me, or dang it, I'm not getting anything. And it's like, that's not what this is about. It's the ritual. It's sitting there and writing it, and that's it. And whatever comes is the bonus.
Yes. Yeah. Flow. And I can relate to that because my tendency, has been to go, like, I can be very rigid, right? Like attached to my agenda of the way things should go. Can y'all relate to that? And then, it's about letting go and trusting and being in flow, fluid, think of like water, you're just in flow. And, I love that. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Soul writing. Okay. I hope you guys are writing these down. I love that. I love that so much. I love that you call it soul writing. It really is. It's connecting with your soul. That's what you're doing. So, okay. What else you got, sister? Okay. Fill us in.
The other ritual is, and this changes, but the big thing here is, and I suggest maybe doing it every 6 months if you're quite the type of person who changes a lot. If you're not, then maybe you could do it every year. But I would identify 3 non-negotiables. And now a non-negotiable is not a should. A non-negotiable is like not really even a must. It's like it's non-negotiable. The brain does not even have a chance to negotiate that you're tired. You're negotiating that it's inconvenient, negotiating that you're traveling, negotiating that you're on your period, negotiating that whatever the thing is, right? I got in a fight, I'm upset, I'm in a racket. Non-negotiable means there's no negotiation. So you need to find 3, I do up to 5, but I would start with 3 non-negotiables that you're going to do every single day. Now, I'll just share you my non-negotiables, but you need to make sure that they're yours, right? Find what is going to be yours. These are what I like to call like the small hinges that move big doors. And if you notice on the door, any door, there's 3 hinges. And even the big Balinese doors, they like open with 3 hinges and they're like ginormous. And I believe that with all of our lives. Like you're going to walk through that big door, that big dream. It just requires those 3 small hinges turning. So these are the non-negotiables. So for me, my non-negotiable is affirmations. So every day saying affirmations to myself. I believe in the power of the spoken word over myself. And so I don't ever skip that. That was something that I did to completely change myself from depression, sleeping on the floor, to the businesswoman I am today and the relationships I have today. And I don't stop. So affirmations is a big one. The other one is me eating something that's living. So for me, that's just important to me, that I am eating green, living foods every single day. It doesn't matter if I'm traveling. It doesn't matter if I'm on vacation. It's like I'm honoring my cells. I'm connecting with nature. To me, it means not so much that I'm going to look good in a swimsuit or anything. For me, it's like I'm taking nature and I'm putting it inside of me because I want its wisdom. I want it in my cells. And so for me, it's like an offering to myself. And so that's my second ritual that's a non-negotiable. And then my third is nature. So getting outside. I do not ever like let rain stop me, wind, snow, snowstorm. I don't care what it is. For me, like we are natural beings and there's so much wisdom. And so whether that's just walking out on your deck and just looking up at the sky and just being in gratitude for a moment for the chance to connect with nature. But we all have that. And I don't care where you live around the world. You have access to the sky, to the wind, to the air. So to take advantage of that. So those are 3 for right now. So
I love those.
Non-negotiables. That's a ritual right in itself. Write them out and claim them.
Yes. And it's like, so one of my non-negotiables is meditation. I do it every single morning and it's really key for me because I used to be like, meditation? No, that's not for me. Like that, I was like anti. And then I remember the first time I did it, 2 minutes felt like 2 hours, you know? But again, remember I told you guys, I know that my work is to drop from head to heart. And for me, meditation allows me to connect with my spirit, with my soul, with my heart, with my body. And it's a non-negotiable for me every morning, even if it's just literally 2 minutes. Normally now I spend, anywhere, from 10 to 30 minutes typically meditating. And also prayer. I pray every day. And I pray, whether that's first thing in the morning, I pray every morning. And also when I have food in front of me, I always pray. So those are like my 2 non-negotiables for sure that I thought up right off the top of my head that I literally, no matter where I am, right? It does not matter. It doesn't matter if I'm like, even if I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a tight morning, I have a meeting that's coming right up. Like I still, again, 5 minutes is better than no minutes. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing.
It's really like the intention around it. Yeah. That's
and you were right. Like so many of us should on ourselves. Like, well, same with going to the gym, like working out, exercising. Like one of my non-negotiables is at least 4 times a week I'm exercising, like minimum. And so for me, I will even like one of the days I was like proud of myself because I was almost going to skip it. And I did a 8-minute ab workout. And I'm like, see, 8 minutes is better than no minutes. And I felt better. And we don't need to be shooting on ourselves and telling ourselves, this is the only way that I can do it. This is the only way. This is the right way, wrong way. It's the intention. It's bringing it back to, okay, what's the purpose? What's the why? Why am I doing this? Right? It's to feel good.
Yes, exactly. So those are some rituals I have for myself. I have rituals for my relationship. I have rituals for other areas of my life. But those are some of my personal ones.
Oh, girl, we may have to have a follow-up episode because I want to know those relationship rituals. Or maybe that's just a girlfriend. I'm like, dude, I mean, you guys let us know, right? Let us know. Send it I want literally screenshot this, like tag us or send us a DM. Like if you want an episode on relationship rituals, damn, that's a good idea. I haven't done that. And that, I mean, yes, please. I'm in a new relationship, you guys know. So
juicy conversation.
You guys, we love the juice, right? We love the juice. So I'm all for that. We may need to have a round 2 for real. I just got so excited about that. Well, Danette, we're coming to the end of the episode. I'm so freaking excited that we had you on the show. Like, this is exactly what like. This is perfect timing, perfect topic. And I love your energy. I love you. Since the moment I met Danette, I was like, I love this woman. Thank you. And is there any like last thing maybe that you didn't get to say that you wanted to say earlier, or one last thing that you kind of want to part ways with the audience and make sure that they know or hear before the end of the episode?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what someone might need to hear. So I'm dropping into my heart, like if there's something someone needs to hear. And I think what came to me is something that I mentioned at the beginning of the call, and it's a quote by Napoleon Hill, and it's, out of chaos comes equal or greater good. So wherever you're at, just know the good is coming.
That's beautiful. Thank you, love. And we're going to put you guys all the links to where to find Danette. Also, I'll put the link to your Cacao Bliss. I love that it says bliss because it's truly what it is. It's like blissful. So I'll put all the links to all the things, and also that little recipe that she shared with us. So you can find all that goodness in the description. And Danette, thank you so much. You have such a beautiful soul. Thank you for sharing it with us today on the episode. I appreciate and love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Have a great day, babe.